The day is finally here after what felt like a very long summer, although the Mavericks had one of the shorter summers in the NBA, but what felt like a very long summer is finally coming to a close. We are one day closer to preseason. We're one day closer to the NBA coming back, but today we had Media Day, and although everybody had something to say and there was a lot of good things to go over, we're going to break it up into a few videos, and in this video, we're going to talk about Jason Kidd on how he envisions this Dallas Mavericks team moving forward, the keys to success, and what we as fans can expect from the team. But how's it going, everybody? My name is Marcel Martin. This is Mavs Digest, bringing you the latest news on everything Mavericks related. And before we get started with today's video, we are currently sitting at 13,284 subscribers. I appreciate each and every one of you guys subscribing to the channel, showing all the love and support. I definitely feel it. But I'm on a road to 15,000 subs. I got my own personal goal of hitting 15K by the end of this year. So if you're watching this video and you're not subscribed, but you want to be up to date on everything Mavericks related, all the news, the live games, the giveaways that we do here, if you don't want to miss a single thing, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out. But like I said in the intro, man, it felt like a very long summer. And although we had one of the shorter summers because we did make it all the way to the NBA Finals, it felt like a very long summer, but it was a very busy summer. Nico Harrison was hard at work, and we all saw the masterclass performance that he put on as a GM, as a newer GM. He'd only been a GM for about 3 years. He was able to do what most people couldn't even imagine. Although we couldn't keep Derrick Jones Jr., we were able to quickly pivot and get Najee Marshall. The news of us signing Najee Marshall came out before we even knew Derrick Jones Jr. was gone. We then traded away Tim Hardaway Jr. and got back Quentin Grimes, a young 3-and-D player who has a lot to prove with a very high ceiling. And of course, the cherry on top of just an amazing offseason was able to convince Klay Thompson to sign with the Dallas Mavericks. And with all the information that we do have surrounding Klay Thompson, it was more so just, hey, how much do you want to get paid? Because we feel like you already want to be here. And from everything that Klay Thompson said, plus the way that he's just been acting while he's in Dallas, showing so much love to the city and just fully immersing himself, it seems like he was already on his way to Dallas. But it is Media Day, and we are going to be talking about Jason Kidd on how he envisions this Dallas Mavericks team. What is it that it's going to take for the team to get over the hump and win a championship? So let's go ahead and break down the first quote. We got this right here. Jason Kidd saying, "We've had shooters, but we haven't had a Jason Terry or a Klay Thompson." Jason Kidd on the Thompson signing and what he adds as a shooter. And I wanted to add the little reply on this tweet. Someone said, "Taking jabs at THJ on Media Day. I love it." Now, I don't think Jason Kidd was taking any jabs at Tim Hardaway Jr. Tim Hardaway Jr. was a very high volume shooter, arguably one of our only players not named Luka that wasn't afraid to just shoot the ball. But I know what Jason Kidd's talking about, having another scorer, another shooter that you can rely on. And if that's a jab at Tim, I mean, I don't think Jason Kidd is trying to take a jab at Tim, but it makes sense. We couldn't really rely on Tim Hardaway. There were a few other players that were too scared to shoot the ball, other than Luka Doncic and Kyrie. But now we got that Klay Thompson, whereas Jason Kidd, who won a championship with Dirk alongside Jason Terry, he knows all too well having that third reliable scorer who can also be your number one or your number two, very flexible, very reliable, is a luxury. And if that's what it took for the Dallas Mavericks to win in 2011, that's what it's going to take for us to win in 2024, 2025. But how good was Jason Terry for the Mavericks when we won, and how good will Klay Thompson be for us moving forward? I got the numbers. Let's take a look at it right here. These are Jason Terry's stats while he was a Dallas Maverick for those wonderful 7 seasons. And although he shot 38% from 3, it was only on about 4 attempts. Obviously, between 2005 and 2012, this was an era of basketball where the 3-point shot really wasn't a high volume shot. That wasn't something that everybody shot like they do today. You had your 3-point specialists, and if you were good at it, you did it. If you weren't that good, you didn't attempt that shot, or you didn't take as many attempts. But taking 4.7 attempts a game for 7 seasons during that era of basketball was actually pretty good. That's what you wanted from some of your 3-point specialists or even your supplementary 3-point specialists. And 38% is a good percent. Luka Doncic, who took 10 threes a game last season alone, also shot at 38% from 3. But what are we getting out of Klay Thompson? Well, times have changed. And Klay Thompson, these are his numbers over the last 3 seasons in Golden State, the 3 seasons post-injury. And since he came back from injury, Klay Thompson is shooting 40% from 3 on 10.2 attempts per game, which is insane, which is amazing. And it really puts things into perspective for the Dallas Mavericks because we knew what we were getting. I knew we were getting Klay Thompson, who is a generational 3-point shooter, one of the best shooters arguably in the history of basketball, right up there with Steph Curry. But to know that we have someone like Luka Doncic, who we know can hit a step back 3 right over the defensive player of the year to send him home, we know Luka can do that. We also know that Kyrie can shoot the 3 ball very well himself. But now we got Klay Thompson, who's going to shoot at the same arguably the same volume and the same efficiency as Luka Doncic. Now, I don't know if Klay Thompson's going to be able to put up 10 threes playing alongside Luka and Kyrie. I'm pretty sure Kyrie will give up shots to make sure Klay gets his. But it reinforces the fact that we knew what mistakes we had in the finals, and we're here to fix them. We didn't have somebody in the finals outside Luka Doncic that could hit a three, except for Tim Hardaway Jr. in that one random game. But Luka Doncic was our only player who could effectively score, and even then it really wasn't up to his own level. But now we have Klay Thompson, someone who's been in the finals, who's made deep runs in the playoffs, who also shoots 40% from 3 on 10 attempts. I'll take that any day of the week. So Jason Kidd, yes, it does feel like we do have our own version of Jason Terry, especially since they both are wearing the same number 31. But what else did Jason Kidd say? Well, let's take a look here. Jason Kidd listed Najee Marshall and Quentin Grimes as two guys who can make major impacts this season. And I've made my videos on Najee Marshall and Quentin Grimes and what they bring to the Dallas Mavericks. And I said earlier, Quentin Grimes, he's a very young 3-and-D guy. He has a lot to prove. There was a game last season where Luka Doncic dropped a 60-point triple-double on the New York Knicks. And very impressive. It was crazy. Obviously, we won the game. It was very close at the end, but Luka did his thing. But on the Knicks, the player who was really holding it together, trying to will them to win, was Quentin Grimes, who had 40-plus points that game alone. So Quentin Grimes, who obviously has a high ceiling, who obviously plays very well on defense as well as offense, can impact this team at a very high level, especially when there's not a lot of pressure on Quentin Grimes. Obviously, he's going to come off the bench. He's going to be a 7th or 8th man, obviously coming in with that second unit, but he can definitely be that spark plug that we need. And we all know about Najee Marshall, a.k.a. the Knife, the man who's a Swiss Army knife. Pretty much, that's exactly what he is, who's going to play great defense, who can play great on-ball defense, but will also do all the small things that you need, just the perfect passing, setting up plays, able to play make a little bit, be able to score as well. His own 3-point shot has improved as well. So yeah, so Jason Kidd, I also agree that Najee Marshall as well as Quentin Grimes will be huge for us. They will be impactful right from day one, I truly believe. But speaking of defense and just how Najee Marshall will be a great on-ball defender, a lot of people have continued to say that without Derrick Jones Jr., the Dallas Mavericks don't have a point-of-attack defender, and our defense is going to fall apart because we have Klay Thompson. Well, Jason Kidd already has an answer for that. Let's take a look at what Jason Kidd had to say. Jason Kidd asked who in the Mavs starting lineup will get the toughest defensive assignment. Jason Kidd said Luka. Why not? Kidd says it will be a committee, but he adds, in all seriousness, there will be nights that Luka has to guard somebody. And I kind of expected that. I knew, at least by committee, knowing that Klay Thompson isn't that same great defender that he once was in Golden State, but still able to be serviceable, that may be something that other teams will look to exploit, that they know that, okay, starting lineup, they got Klay Thompson. We're going to make sure whoever we put on Klay Thompson is probably faster, quicker, stronger to make Klay Thompson look like a liability. How do you fix that? You play defense through committee, or you make Luka Doncic be your best defender. And if that's going to work, then I'm all for it. I would love to see some Luka Doncic Defensive Player of the Year campaigns going on. If no one's going to start it, I'm going to start it right now. Because in all reality, Luka Doncic, when he's committed to defense, he's a great defender. We saw that in the playoffs, where most games he did look like the best defender. Regardless of what any fake stat of blow-bys per game will tell you, whatever made-up stat they want to show you to discredit Luka and his defense, the numbers don't lie. And if we take a look at those numbers, people don't realize that Luka is an elite defender now. Last season, Luka defensively was 15th in defensive box plus minus. He was 18th in defensive win shares, 4th in loose balls recovered, 7th in deflections per game, and 2nd in defensive rating amongst all guards. I mean, if you're not going to give him MVP for this, I don't really know what your expectations are for Luka to win MVP. Everything that we've seen this man do is just crazy. It's the stuff of legends, and we're watching it right in front of us. And if people think there's a whole nother level he has to hit in order to get MVP or to get any kind of respect, that's saying that Luka Doncic can tap into a level that we haven't seen before, which is going to be insane. And with the way this Dallas Mavericks team is currently constructed, the way that Jason Kidd is going to run this ship, we may see Luka Doncic just put on a crazy performance. Defensive Player of the Year, a 40, 50, 90 split for shooting for the season. Maybe a triple-double average for the season. The sky's the limit with Luka Doncic because this team around him is going to support him just by doing the things that they do best. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. Do you think that Luka Doncic could be our best defender because Jason Kidd says so? Or do you think that's going to go to someone else like maybe Najee Marshall? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. We can have a conversation. But that's what I got for you guys. guys today. Thank you for making this far into the video. Make sure to check out our Twitter and Discord. Links in the description below. Consider becoming a channel member. We are doing another giveaway. The winner will be announced next weekend. This current weekend, I'll be a little bit busy, but next weekend we'll go live and I'll announce the winners. We're also going to be breaking down the media day coverage over the next few days over a bunch of different players. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But till next time, y'all take care. Drink water. Peace.